Alright, to prove that New York is everything that I said it was concerning the symbolic representation of the temptation of the Garden of Eden event, I want to flip-flop and mirror two chapters. And we're going to be looking at chapter 28 from the book of Ezekiel, from verse 13 through to verse 19. And it is a mirror image, a perfect mirror image of chapter 18 of Revelation, which is all about the first and second cup. All about the first and second cup, which is all about New York City, which is all about Babylon, which is all about this beast, which is all about this commercial Babylon being brought down. So let's look at this and look at how this perfectly mirrors this. And we see in the beginning about thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God, every precious stone. And we see all the way down here, all the different stones, all the way down to gold. Well, I've already showed you this in verse 12, where this city of merchandise, okay, gold, the very same things. The precious stones, the golds, the very same things, okay? So Lucifer is manifesting himself through the temptation of the daughter Eve, and has turned her through this temptation into this symbolic whore, okay? So as we see the relationship, we go on down here and we see that by the multitude of the merchandise, as we've stated, they have filled the midst of thee with violence. Now, let's go down to verse 21 of chapter 18, and there we see, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. So with violence she will be created, and violence she will be brought down. The very same thing. So now let's look at the end of this, and it says, Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. Well, that's exactly what we have at verse 19. And they that know thee among the people shall be astonished at thee. Thou shalt be a terror, and never shalt thou be found any more. Now, let's remember that we have in chapter 18, which I told you is the World Trade Centers coming down, the judgment's going to be with fire on both cups. Even the first cup was with fire, and this is the first cup. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and shall be utterly burned with fire. Now, let's go back to chapter 28 and see what we got here. Look where my arrow is pointing, the fire. Thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries by the multitude of thine iniquities, by the iniquity of thy traffic. Remember, Babylon is the city of luxury and traffic. Therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee. It shall devour thee, and will bring thee down to ashes upon the earth, in the sight of them that behold thee. I mean, unreal. And we know who is beholden, because it's the kings of the earth. It's the kings of the earth that are beholden thee. And it says, I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee. Now, if we want to know where these kings are, then we would go right back to verse 9 of chapter 18, and here they are. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her. Now, this is the manifestation of the daughter Babylon as the city, shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Now look, my friends, that is exactly a mirror image of the events. What this does for us here in chapter 28 is it brings us from Eden, just like I said the New York symbols do. I hope you understand everything that you've seen. Thank you for listening. I'll be back.